exactly, has it's one of the great spaces or institutions that has helped to push further new media art and digital art and all these notions that merge art with technology. And that notion, art and technology, has been present in the Americas since the 50s, when all these experiences created by electronic art experiments were taken by amazing artists like John Cage and Rauschenberg. And so we have a tradition that then moved to the South because many of the artists that were living in the South traveled to the North. So, you know, that link between artists and the collaborations they established. For example, you are showing Marta Minutini.
Yes, Margarita Pasca, other artists from Argentina.
Right. So you have artists that were exposed to this vision of understanding art as something that can be mediatized, that's something that travels through satellites and networks, and then with the appearance of computers, these notions were updated, and since then I think artists have been doing very interesting experiments with sound art and net art and new media in general. And this is how maximum security relates to this tradition, because the work is about communication, of course. Maximum security is a work that shows the emails of Hugo Chavez since 1999 till 2004. And what I did is I traced, I intercepted, I hacked those emails. And by doing that, I was able to see the communication between people and government, and understand the history that lies within those, within that kind of communication, because it's very personal. It's sensitive information in some way. And allowing people to experience this work is also a way of enlarging our vision of what are the patterns that South Americans, and I think people from many different places in the world, have followed to pick their leaders, to choose the people that take the real choices. And this is, of course, within the realm of new media. Although I don't use computers, I use the technology created by the computers to provide this experience.
I want to answer for the concept regenerative poesía regenerativa, regenerative poetry. What is this concept? I thought it's relevant in the world, no? You can tell me.
So, in order to explain what's the origin of this work, it's very important to understand that I initiated my journey as a reader of poetry, and then writing poetry, and then writing code, and then exploring the connections between code and poetry. And by doing that, I ended up creating parallel systems that were showing how language, natural language, can be translated through programming language into interactive forms that can expand our knowledge and consciousness about the meaning of computer languages. And poetry has been key, not only because it gave me a structure to understand and to keep producing my work, but also because poetry is subversive by nature, and poets are transgressive people. I think in Spanish we call them poetas malditos, and these are quite existential human beings that through literature, through language, through words, access a new realm of reality.
What do you think about the concept of temporary autonomous zone task for Hacking Bay? ¿Qué piensas en el concepto zona temporalmente autónoma de Hacking Bay? Every time you make temporary autonomous zone, todavía estás trabajando en zonas temporalmente autónomas, sigues tomando control y generando espacios temporalmente independientes del poder, como lo es máxima seguridad.
Right.
Yes.
So there is an example of a previous work that I think will explain very well that notion that you are describing. And it's called the Pirelli Biennial. This is the Museum of Contemporary Art of Caracas.
Yes.
And the website was hacked in 2000. And between 2000 and 2004, a parallel biennial was occurring, was taking place in this website. By doing this action, I was able to not only show my interest in defending net art and new media, but also I gave the opportunity to other people to share their works and their vision and explain the importance of net art. So by the end of the action, the institution changed their own rules about media art in general, and they were more comprehensive and open in showing works that use technology. I think for Latin America it has been very difficult to support these kind of works because we didn't have the right technology and the right time to think about this, to study it, and to explore the multiple possibilities of computers and computer art and so on.
Yucef, I have a question. After you had the main page of MAC, the Modern Contemporary Museum in Caracas, I was there in December. I visited an exhibition of you. So finally they acquired pieces of you. What do you think about that? Years after you had the main page, the domain of MAC.
Right. So I think from an institutional point of view, museum directors and people involved with the arts in Venezuela, in this case, have reflected and changed their minds in order to, accept what seems to be inevitable. and this is the presence of new technologies, not only in the arts but in general. I mean, we all use smartphones and have laptops, and we are attached to technology. So I think by accepting technology per se, they have been more flexible and more friendly, I think, despite of this action.
With this lesson.
Right.
Okay, Yucef, you told me about the temporary donation. I know the code for the ethic hacker. Hacker, sorry, French hacker. ¿Existe qué puede significar la ética para un hacker? ¿Existe?
Right. So yes,
It's possible.
hackers have an ethic code, and it's not the same ethics as people usually think about ethics, but it's more about providing a safe place for doing what they need to do, which is enlarge our consciousness on knowledge in general.
It's possible.
Yes.
Yes. But for closing, Yucef, why is necessary one program for art numérique in Latin America or media art for Latin America? Do you think it's necessary?
Well, I think any venture and any project that supports the advance of contemporary art, in this case new media art, is necessary, and not only in Latin America or South America, but I think all over the world, because we still have constraints and limits within the realm of new media art, especially in the art market.
Okay, wonderful. For finish, lamentablemente este programa, como lo comenté al principio,
This program, as I said before,
está sujeto a una plataforma mucho más grande.
is attached to a huge platform that we are creating.
Como le dije, que se llama Art Numérique Latinoamérica. Esta plataforma
This platform, Art Numérique Latin America,
la estoy desarrollando conjuntamente con I developed with Elisa Rodríguez Campo,
we are developing in Istanbul, and Elisa Rodríguez,
que es una investigadora venezolana que es radicada en París.
art critic. I live in Paris, and we are investigating mostly a wide panorama about Latin American art, beside the cinetism, the complete art. There's a wide way beyond the main Latin American art that the people out of our continent know. And this is about the program to let know how is the Latin American art or media art in Latin America outside the continent.
Bueno, Yucef, thank you for your participation. Sorry for the mix in the lunch. I live in France. I don't speak English every time. My English is very, very bad. But thank you, Yucef. Thank you, Pinta.
Thanks
for
a lot.
this opportunity.
Thanks.